I've got a question for you, though. I'm about to tweet it out now. The question is, who has the bigger pool in 2023? Newcastle, the new members of the top six, or Tottenham? Who has the most pool in 2023? That's a question for the viewers and the panel.
I said I wasn't going to diss Tottenham, but it's definitely Newcastle at this stage.
What are we basing this off of? What are we basing this off of, though?
But if we base it, okay, like let's look at what since Eddie Howe's came in, even getting Eddie Howe, first off, better manager than most of the guys that's the type of manager Tottenham should have got. So first, and then you look at the signings like Bruno Guimaraes, that came out of that he clearly wanted to go there. You look at Isak, you look at Kieran Trippier. People forget, like, that was a big deal. I was upset. I genuinely, that was like the same way Terry feels about like losing out on players like Kane or whatever going to. I wanted Trippier at United. Like, that was one player that I've been screaming for. And then he went to Newcastle and he had options. So you look at all these players that have been happening. Tonali, Italians don't leave the Italian league. As much as I know he didn't want to leave, he still was like, fine, I'll go to Newcastle. He could have just said, fine, sell me somewhere else, because a lot of people needed midfielders. Now I go and look at Tottenham and I'm like, who really have you been bringing in? And then you had two managers who just destroyed your like reputation in public.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Paul. We're talking about the Paul.
Who's going to challenge Newcastle or Tottenham for the Premier League title?
So say that again, sorry?
Who's going to challenge for the league title in the next 4 years? Is it going to be Tottenham or Newcastle?
Listen, I don't know. That's all I can honestly say, that one. I mean, we're not in a position to challenge anytime soon. We've got to be honest. But the question isn't that. The question is about who's got the biggest pool. You can look at what's happened right now. James Maddison, Tottenham and Newcastle were both in for the guy, and he chose Tottenham over Newcastle. That is facts. Tottenham wanted him. Newcastle wanted him. There's lots of talk. He was going to choose Newcastle, Champions League, yada, 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 yada. And in the end, he chose Tottenham. Tottenham offered the better package in terms of wages, and the guy said he wanted to stay in London. He wanted to stay closer to his family. So if you're looking at Paul, that is a clear indication of what's going on. And I think as well, Newcastle fans have got to be realistic as well. Yes, they're a team that are doing well now, but when you're fighting the big boys and you're shopping in the same bracket and basket as all the top teams, all the top six teams, it's a lot harder to get in your key targets or key acquisitions. The same with
Dominic, Beyonce, if you go to Tottenham. Sorry,
Dominic Soboslai, or however you pronounce it. They were after him as well. They were like, "Oh, don't worry about Maddison. We're gonna go and get him." And what happened? Liverpool nabbed him. So I don't know about this Newcastle pool just yet. Newcastle are the better team, of course, but if you're talking about pool right now, I'm not sure if that's the honest answer.
I mean, you give a great example. Like, Maddison did pick you over Newcastle. I personally think brilliant signing for you, but I think he is crazy. I think it's with what the direction Newcastle are going in, and this isn't even like me throwing shade. This is based on what Spurs fans tell me about their club. The lack of willingness to spend, the lack of willingness to make you a football team first rather than a commercial outlay, a commercial project. Sorry, Newcastle, they are trying to build a team that wins major trophies. So I don't understand why you would pick Tottenham over Newcastle based on that logic, if that makes sense. Now, you may, for instance, some people say, well, why would Rice go to Arsenal over City? I think he's going to Arsenal to win things and wants to do it in that way and wants to kind of get a team that used to win back to winning, but believes they can do it. I just don't know if anybody truly believes, including every single Tottenham fan on planet Earth, whether Spurs are ever going to win another trophy. Or at least, but you win one day, but not in James Maddison's career.
Yeah, until
I don't even mean it as a dig. I just generally, it's 27, he's literally got about 5-6 years left to start winning trophies. And to pick Tottenham, a team where their greatest ever player is now wanting to leave because he can't win trophies, I just feel like it's a weird move.
But this is the thing. All you like Twitter people, not you lot, I'm saying Twitter doms and fans, they all act like Tottenham aren't a big club. Tottenham are a big club, and that's an example of it. So even though you guys diss us and we're this, we're that, we still do have a pool. We're an established member of the top six. Even in the comments when I come on it today, I looked at them. They're like, "Why are Tottenham here?" They're not. We're still a big club. We're still a. And
but the thing is, that's not the question, though. Yeah, to be completely honest, that wasn't the question.
No, but it's going back to the question in terms of pool. Yeah. Tottenham are a big club, and they do have a big pool than Newcastle right now. Newcastle are brand new in this thing, and it's going to take more than one season to have a bigger pool than an established big club. That's my point.
Actually, no, but the question is, if I'm an up-and-coming player I'm 80 system.
That's not the question, though. You lot are mixing.
99 out of 100
remixing.
times going to go Newcastle.
That's not the question about who's got the bigger pool.
It's
You
not
lot are
that
adding
simple,
all
though,
this.
is it?
That is the bigger pool. Who's
No,
a more
because
attractive club, and it's Newcastle right now.
Again, though, you said if I was a player and I was offered both Tottenham, what if like the path to first team football is easier at Tottenham? You're gonna go there. The only way I think you can do, Paul, is if both clubs went in for the same player and they both needed him desperately, i.e., the competition for they were going to be guaranteed starters week in, week out. That is the only way you can really measure Paul, in my opinion.
That just happened with Maddison because Maddison would have been starting for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Or Tom, are you saying he would have been on the bench for Newcastle?
I mean, Joe Linton's a hell of a player. Joe Willock's a hell of a player. I don't think the competition between Højbjerg and Pape Sarr is as intense.
I think he would have started for both teams. So if we're saying head to head and it just happened, like I think without a doubt Maddison starts for either of those teams in his preferred position, and he chose Tottenham for all the reasons you said. Listen, I've never been to Newcastle, but I've been to London, and like I've said, when I've gone to Manchester and I've been to London, I'm always shocked when anybody, other than the fact that we have prestige or whatever, if you're choosing cities, London wins every single time. So I do think that is a bit of like a red herring for Tottenham. It's a good thing for you because you are in such a great location. You have this new stadium, and like that would be a huge pull, I think, for a lot of people in their lives. I just don't know how far. Like I don't know the geography of how far Newcastle is away from a London or whatnot like that. That's why I think
5 hours.
Bro.
Oh, okay. So like with Manchester, it's a bit different because like you're not that far. It takes an hour.
It's basically an hour and a half, about 2.5, 3
for
hours.
Manchester, I flew.
London.
So
oh, you flew, right? Yeah. Most of us get the train or drive.
Yeah.
But I would say a player would fly. That's what I'm saying. A player could fly.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm not rich or anything, and I'm able to take a flight from Manchester to London in an hour. These players can too.
Yeah, exactly. Cliff here says Madders went to Shit Heart Lane because we weren't smart enough to go get him. A brilliant acquisition by them lot down the road. Shite Heart Lane. Sorry, Shite Heart Lane.
Yeah, respect. So I was going to say, even, there's a dig at the first, but you got there with the compliment in the end.
Why is everyone asleep on Villa and Brighton?
I'm not.
No one's
been Brighton for years.
I might sleep. I'll probably sleep on Villa, but I won't sleep on Brighton.
Other way around for me. I think Villa's going to be.
I think both teams will be threats next season. I don't think no one's discounted them, but it will be.
They'll never be deep enough. They're never going to have the depth to compete, in my opinion, with the current top six.
Both of them have Europe as well.
That's
playing Thursday, Sunday.
And it's only their fault because according to League Gunner, they should bankrupt themselves in terms of signing players so that they're able to compete. Bankrupt.
So ridiculous.
Man United, Man City, and Chelsea have bigger wage bills and they turn over a year of income, but he wants them to spend all their income on salary and then borrow money and spend it on salary and then win the league and then go bust. Lee, I love you. This here says, do you guys think if there is a player or two that Arsenal could sign to change their odds of winning the title?
Haaland and De Bruyne, bar that
Yeah, they need a top striker, and I think personally they need a right winger because Saka is overplayed and he's always coming off injured, but somehow he plays the next game. I think if you can rotate him and you get a better Saka, because like for the last third of the season last season, he was tired and he wasn't the same direct and explosive guy because he's been overused.
Yeah,
so
who do you think, Patty? Who do you think would be the best right winger for them? Like Nigel Farage, Tommy Robertson, Piers Morgan.
It's difficult in terms of
bank accounts. I don't know why I'm laughing at them, but it's just making me diet.
But yeah, I don't know, man. In terms of strikers that are available, Osherman, Vlahovic. I think, to be honest, Ivan Toney. If Ivan Toney didn't have this betting scandal hanging over him, he would have been a perfect fit for Arsenal. They would have been able to go and get him. He knows the Premier League. He scored 20 goals last season.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And he missed a lot of games.
I think we'd be looking at him if he was available.
I think everyone would be looking at.
Keep saying Serge Gnabry's name, Carl. I mean this honestly. Serge Gnabry is one of the most overrated players. I think.
Whoa!
I think he's good. But I think he's good.
I think him and Coman.
A couple of years ago, he had that blow up season where everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's the guy." This man, he's very good. I'm not saying he is a bad footballer, but people talk about him in the same breath as like Vinicius Jr. and co. This guy, he isn't as good as Saka. He isn't as good as Rashford. He isn't as good as a lot.
He's definitely as good as Saka.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's overrated.
Absolutely not.
You know,
he 100% is.
David,
he's not dining at the same table as the top wingers. He's not.
He's not. He's
just not. Like Jack Grealish, you could keep naming.
You're telling me that
Mahrez.
In a one-off season, Serge Gnabry can't get the same amount of goal contributions as Saka did last year.
In a one-off season, we're talking about consistently.
We're talking about consistently, bro.
But Saka's only performed at that level for 1 year.
Yeah, but we've seen. But okay, listen. But you could see it. You see it coming, and he did it. So this is the thing. I was always saying I'm going to wait for him to do it before I anoint Saka, because everyone's always like Saka's better than Rashford, this or that. I still don't fully agree. They're different players, but at the end of the day, he did it, and now we expect it to keep happening. When you see how he plays for England, you see it. It's not like this is a flash in the pan for Saka. Listen, I want to hate on these guys as much as you do, but I'm going to be realistic here. Saka is way better than Serge Gnabry, and we all expect him to continue to be better. And he's 21.
And I say this as well. If you put Saka or Rashford in the Bundesliga in Bayern Munich's team, they're getting 25, 30 goals each in a season.
Comfortably.
No problem.
It's a bit like, I know he had a good year last year, Balogun in France. And I was like, oh, shit, how many goals he got. Again, you put Saka or Put Haaland in that league for a year in the best team. I guarantee you he gets 80 league goals. With ease. With ease. Oh, that's why, by the way, that's why France has now dropped down to the 7th league in rankings in Europe. I've been telling you mugs for ages. Barring PSG's money, it's never been top 4 leagues in Europe. I'm older than all you pups. It was top 4. Oh, what's happening in France? No one cared. No one cares anymore. Bang average in comparison. I'm talking overall quality of the league. And listen, the Bundesliga is the bottom of those 4. And once you get past their top 4 or 5 teams, the level is the
Bundesliga right now is better than Serie A.
Serge Gnabry is 27.
No, it's not.
Hang on a minute. Italy just got 3 teams in 3 European
They had 3 teams on one side of the draw. It was a 3 in 4 chance of it happening.
But they were in it. Where are all the other nations?
It was a 3 or 4 chance in it. Bayern Munich got, if you're telling me Bayern Munich got on that side of the draw, they don't make the final. They would have killed them. Oh my God, we're not doing this.